Hello, and welcome to Tube Talk with D. Um, I'm gonna speak tonight on the Texas trial of Carmelo Anthony. I'm a Texan, as many of you know. I was here in Texas, where I live, when the story broke. The day that it originally happened here a couple of years back at the high school. And it was a very tragic day that day. A lot of confusion, a lot of gossip, hearsay, a lot of speculation, and alleged stories that were going around as to what actually happened. And it was so fresh that day, as I can remember. And I'm not gonna, just go through every detail because we've gone through the trial. We've been through a trial, we've been through a conviction, and we have now been through a sentencing today for a 19-year-old child, semi-adult, who has not had a chance to live life either. And I don't want to straddle the fence too much, but no one wants to lose a child to whether it be jail or whether it be to the grave. But this trial brought out a lot of digging deep. It brought out a lot of, digging into backgrounds, who people are, what they were doing, their lifestyles. And I must say that Carmelo Anthony, he did, as well as the Metcalf son, came from a good family. Well, I'm speaking on Carmelo Anthony because we know that the Metcalf family, and I feel like this, things that the Metcalf family had gone through or were going through, they wanted that for Carmelo Anthony's family, and that just wasn't the case. They came here from Hurricane Katrina, and they made something of themselves. They made a family, they made a lifestyle, they made a business. They became entrepreneurs. No matter how you dig into their history, what they do for a living, their salary, everything was legit. And people don't like that sometimes. You're living in a not even a wealthy neighborhood here in the DFW. A very wealthy neighborhood, very good school. And a lot of people were voicing their opinions earlier. What would happen if the tables would have turned? Would this be the same narrative? And I'm not advocating, for the Metcalf side. This is very unfortunate for Carmelo Anthony as a 19-year-old having a 35-year sentence, and you will have to do half of that, 16 and a half years. He has no back time. Remember, the family bonded him out. They have given this family such a hard time. Restricted the GoFundMe, bonded him out, took him through all types of hoops and loops where he had to move out of the neighborhood, their family, due to threats. And I'm wondering where we are today. I'm wondering where we are today with an all-white jury, where his defense team actually tried to fight against that, but there was no leeway for that. Why? There's so many unanswered questions in this. Do I think it was fair? No, I don't. Did he wake up on the flip side and say, hey, I'm fixing to go and do this today to somebody, I'm going to go and take somebody out? No, he didn't do that. The young man was bullied. What do you teach your kids? How do you change this narrative of conversation with your children, your sons? No matter their ethnicity, their background, what color they are, what race they are. How do you have this now conversation with your sons? Okay? And I'm just not going to keep going back and forth with the narrative. Everybody has their opinion. It's very unfortunate on what happened today. I want everybody to think, this is early Wednesday morning. He has been dressed out of his plain clothes, hugged his family for the last time, breathed his last breath of freedom air, all to be from that courtroom to learn that you have 35 years as a 19-year-old coming from a good home, knowing in your heart that you were having self-defense. This is supposedly a stand your ground state here in Texas. And it's just so much speculation and controversy over this. Conspiracies are swarming. And it just makes me think right now in this moment, I pray for his mental health. I pray for the successful appeal, because we know they're doing. And let's speak about the appeal right quick. If I was that family, I would get rid of that lawyer and hire me a dog and walk it all the way down, because ain't no way. It just ain't no way. And I just feel something in my spirit. Get rid of that attorney. Get you a strong one. Get you a dog that's gonna bark, that's gonna stand on 10 toes. Not saying this lawyer didn't, but he could have. Maybe he stood on 7. Baby, I need you to stand on 10. And I'm not blaming anybody about it. I truly believe it was an accident, and I think the world knows and sees that it was an accident. He didn't intentionally aim to do that. And whatever was involved in that situation was not a weapon. And it was weaponized as of today. It was 35 years of weaponization, but I really just feel like let's keep the young man uplifted in prayer. And is it over? I don't think it's over. I know that they have already put an appeal in because, we have a lot of things going on here in Dallas. I know it was Collin County, but I'm here in Dallas. Smash the Topic. I'm, really cool with him. He was doing a video live earlier, and it was just so informational. It was just so much that was going on. Even the news reposted a video of what Smash caught of a guy going to jail outside. And I'm not going to call it a protest, but I am going to say that there were, everybody emotions were on high. And this was right before the sentencing came in. So you guys go over to Smash the Topic here on YouTube and check out his live videos from earlier today on what really happened during the times where the news may not have caught it, or certain things that the news may not have picked up on. But I wanted to switch gears and let you guys know that Briana does have the kids back. The kids are now back with her. Janelle dropped the kids off back to his baby mother, Miss Briana. I'm a mother. So he dropped the kids back off to her, and I kind of really felt some type of way because she made a video earlier that and I know people have lost parents, siblings, family members, and times that roll around during holidays, birthdays, and etc. and things like that. But she had a video where they were at the gravesite of her mother, And you know, she was taking pictures with the kids, but she also made a video in her story, if you guys have seen, where she's screaming, you know, happy birthday, I love you. It's kind of it was just something off about that. You know, she had the kids in the background and she's screaming that. And normally we've seen in the past from her before where she seems very much emotional. You know, kind of earlier, as you've been following her over the years. But you know, today it was kind of, you know, I don't know. Something was off. I don't want to do too much commentary with it. I can't say how a person grieves or feels, but I really feel like the video was just for content purposes only. Um, and that's that. Anywho, hit the like and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.